Well, hello, all of my sunshiny friends. How are we doing today? I have been trying to make this video for about a half an hour, and one of my kids calls, the phone rings, something keeps happening. So we're going to try yet again to do this. We are on a weight loss journey. We hit a plateau. What do we do? So this is a question that I have been asked a couple of times, and I am going to give you my advice, my tips, things that I would do first. So as you all know, disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I do not pretend to play one in your living rooms, on your phone, on your tablets, or any of the things. So maybe if you are struggling, consult your doctor, dietitian, nutritionist, or someone first. So first and foremost, we're on a weight loss journey, right? And we hit a plateau and we're not losing weight. What does that mean really? A plateau during weight loss is really, really tricky, guys. So first and foremost, I don't want you to get discouraged. I don't want you to give up. You need to stay positive, stay on track, and don't give up. A plateau can be anything from 4 weeks to 4 months. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you will never lose another pound. And I know it's scary and it's frustrating and all the things if you stop losing weight. But it's important to not give up. And if you're maintaining during that time, then that's fantastic. If you started to gain weight, then I don't think we're really on a plateau anymore. You know, we're kind of going backwards. So a plateau is just kind of staying there, maintaining really. So I would give it at least 4 weeks personally. And I say this because I've done it. A few weeks back, if you go and you look, I was 2 weeks, I was the same. Within that pound, just kept going back and forth, back and forth. And what I did, and you guys know if you go back in my video, I did a reset. Again, I am not a medical professional. Please do not do what I do. Do your own research and all of the things first, please. I did a reset. It had only been a couple of weeks, but I knew that a vacation was coming, so I had decided to stop my medication. After the 2 weeks, and it ended up being, I had taken the shot in one day, and it was 20 days later before I took another shot. And I had gained additional weight during that time, but then when I started the medication back up again, I have been back on track. I've been losing, I'm down an additional almost 10 pounds, 9 point something. So I'm calling that a reset, and I think it did wonders. I really do. Not just for my body, because I think my body just needed a little bit of a break, but for my mind. It showed me that I'm capable. It showed me that I'm making good choices because of the medication. I'm learning all of these things. It showed me that I can do it, and that was really, really good for me. So that is an option, of course, for anybody. But, you know, again, please don't say, Cheryl told me to do that. That's, you all are adults. And I did that on my own. I didn't necessarily do that with the advice of my doctor. That being said, after I did it, 2 weeks later, I saw my doctor for my physical, as many of you know, and she was 100% on board with it, said it was a great idea. She would have advised me to do it as well. So we've plateaued. We need to do something, right? Okay. Things that I would do first and foremost, not necessarily in this order, but kind of, sort of. Number one thing I would do is check your calorie intake. So many of us start a weight loss journey and we have calorie intake that where we need to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight, right? So we get a calorie intake. Mine is about 1,200. That being said, I don't always do that. I do 12 to 1450 generally. Like if I do 1450, I'm still okay. Anything over that, then I would start to gain. So I usually do between 12 and 1450. I am seeing a dietitian or a nutritionist, still not sure which, in a couple of weeks, and I will see what she says about that. So if you're using an app or a calorie tracker or something like that, and you start losing weight, make sure that your tracker knows or is adjusting. So that's a big thing. Some people, you know, not everybody uses a phone, not everybody has all of this going in their app. And, you know, you might just forget. So if you went on one of the websites and you got your calories for what you should be consuming and you've lost 40 pounds, but you never adjusted the calorie intake to represent the 40-pound weight loss, now you're probably taking in too many calories. So that would be the number one thing I would do, is check your calorie intake. Make sure that it has adjusted to any weight that you have lost. Number two thing is huge, is, are you getting enough sleep? Sleep is super, super important. And I am 1,000% convinced, you guys know I'm obsessed with the scale. I am on the scale all the time. I have seen the weight difference between 2 a.m., 4 a.m., and 6 a.m. That is when we are losing weight. We're losing weight when we're sleeping. Or that's when the weight is coming off. I don't, you know, however you want to call it. But sleep is super important. If you are one of the unfortunate people who are not sleeping because of this medication, and sleep deprivation is a side effect, consider trying some things. Maybe some melatonin. It doesn't work well for me. It works phenomenal for my son. My husband used to hate it. He had tried the gummies, and he said the gummies used to give him nightmares, like really, not nightmares, but like really weird, vivid dreams. He now takes the chewables. He loves them. My husband takes them all the time. Not really sure why, because he's one of those that like falls asleep in a movie theater or falls asleep at a Las Vegas show. He doesn't really have trouble falling asleep, but he says he has trouble staying asleep. So, tea that I like is Sleepy Time vanilla tea. That can like really help put your tablets and all the things off. Maybe do some mindfulness, do some meditation, some yoga. Do whatever you need to do to get sleep. Sleep is vital. Change up your routine a little bit. So maybe you're in a rut. Maybe you're eating the same foods over and over and over again. Maybe your exercise plan just isn't there. Maybe you need some more fat going on. Maybe you need more exercise. You know, check these things. Kind of, which brings me to my next thing is journal. So these two kind of like go together, but track your food or journal your food. So a lot of us are using apps. A lot of us are using journal, tracking things. But I do think that sometimes when you're writing things down, you're going to start to see different patterns. So you might think that you're doing great, but if you start actually seeing it on paper and writing it down, you may start to realize that you've missed something. Maybe the little sweet treat that you were putting in there here and there is like an everyday thing where you thought it was just once in a while, and it's adding all of these extra calories on. Maybe you're not getting enough protein. Maybe you're skipping too many meals. Maybe you're having too many Diet Cokes throughout the day. Whatever the case may be, but I really do think that journaling helps. And it doesn't have to be forever. Maybe just do it for a few days, do it for a week or so. But if you do it, you can kind of start to see the pattern and see things that maybe you could change that you didn't really realize until you started writing it out. And sometimes journaling just helps. This is a journal, guys. Start a YouTube channel. Start videotaping yourself. You don't have to publish it if you don't want to, but you guys know, I've talked to you guys and said, oh my God, I didn't think of that. And sometimes when you're talking out loud to somebody, it really does help. And it happens often where I'll be talking to you guys and then I'm like, oh my God, how did I not put two and two together before? So definitely do that for sure. Talk to your doctor or a dietitian. So, we don't have all the answers. They don't have all the answers either, but they may have answers that you don't. Your doctor or your dietitian might have suggestions for you. A dietitian, which I'm hoping when I go, is it next week or the week after? When do I see the dietitian? The 21st. So I've got a couple of weeks. She might have certain foods that would be more beneficial to you. If you're on the cusp of maybe being diabetic or you are diabetic, she might have other options. He or she might have other options for you. Your doctor might have other options for you. I know when I spoke to my doctor was very on board with switching medications. My doctor has patients, she said, who she switches between tirzepatide and semaglutide and goes back and forth between them. As you all know, I will begin alternating dosage from week to week. I'm going to go 5, 7.5, 5, 7.5. And that was, at the advice of my doctor. So maybe you need a different dose now. Talk to your doctor. Maybe your dosing is different. So there's all of those types of things. So talk to a doctor, talk to a dietitian, and see if, if it's been a long time, if it's been if it's been 3 or 4 weeks, maybe not quite yet, but if it's been some time and you've done a lot of the other things, then maybe it's time to talk to your doctor and see. Maybe going on Wegovy or Ozempic or something for a couple of months and then going back to Zepbound, that could be a reset that you need. So check with your doctor, on some of those types of things. Find something new. Like, we get bored, we get in a rut, right? Find a new recipe. That's why you guys know I'm really pushing the group that I have. I'll link it down below. I really, really want to get recipes on there because I think that that'll be beneficial to all of us, because we all get in that rut, right? And we're all eating the same thing and we're doing the same things. Maybe you need a new food. Maybe you need to take out a food. Maybe you need a new exercise program. Something that's really been helping me lately is my bestie has been texting me and we'll go for a walk. And it's also therapeutic because we're walking and we're talking. She's my best friend. We've been friends since we were in kindergarten. And it does something for my soul to be with her and to have somebody to talk to and communicate with, and have somebody to talk to, on this journey with me. So find something new to do. Maybe it's a new exercise routine. Maybe it's a new piece of exercise equipment. Maybe it's a 5-pound weight. Maybe it's a new pair of exercise shoes. Maybe it's a new pair of sneakers to help get you motivated. So, try something new. You just never know what little thing is going to help you. Maybe your workout is the problem. Maybe your workout's just too much. You're trying so hard and you're putting all of your and you're like, what the heck? I'm out here 45 minutes a day and I'm running and I'm doing all the things. Well, maybe your workout is just too much. Maybe what you need is to back off a little bit. Maybe you need to change things up. Maybe you need to switch from cardio to weight training. Maybe if you've been weight training for 6 months, you need to add some cardio in. Maybe you need to alternate cardio and weight training. So, maybe you need to switch up your workout. So again, if you're journaling it and you're looking at it and you're realizing the same thing all the time, our bodies they just get used to things. The same way our brain does, and that's what the doctors are saying with this medication, is the brain is building like memory muscle with habits, and we're learning like these good habits. Well, your body starts to do the same thing. And your body's like, yep, here she goes again, 30 minutes of walking, woohoo. And you're doing the same thing for months and months and months. Your body just becomes accustomed to it. So maybe you need to switch it up a little bit. So consider changing your workout routine. I'm just gonna throw this one out here. Alcohol, maybe you need to take some things out. So for me, I know alcohol and this medication doesn't jive. Alcohol that I drink personally has a lot of sugar because I drink rum, like coconut rum with some type of like sugary substance usually. So that's a no-go for me. My husband, I know, he's a beer drinker. Whenever my husband slows down the beer, he can lose weight like that. Alcohol really, really deters weight loss. So if you've put alcohol back in, or if you're still drinking alcohol on, a regular basis, might be something that you want to consider taking out of your everyday routine. And then this one, be aware of those sneaky healthy foods. So you guys know I have certain bars that I like, protein bars, right? And I was really big with the macadamia nut ones. I was eating them constantly. Every morning when I was at school, I was having some type of a protein bar in the morning. And one of you fantastic viewers had said, that particular bar that I was eating, have you checked the sugar content? And I was like, no, it's a protein bar. Well, it's great, right? And the sugar content was very high in it. And I had no idea. It's a protein bar that, like, eat the protein, you get all the energy, things will be great. And I was consuming all of this sugar. So I have backed down on the protein bars. I keep them around, when I need them. I am lazy with a lot of things, and I'm like, oh my God, it's just easier. But I've checked, and I try to eat the lower sugar ones. Not always, but I don't eat a protein bar every single day, once or twice a day. The sugar-free, fat-free things, I know I had mentioned this in another video. My bestie, who I have mentioned before, she is also an RN. My daughter-in-law is an RN, and they have both said, just be careful. Those fat-free, sugar-free things, there's so many additives. So I know you guys had seen last week I was loving the sugar-free Cool Whip. And when I was at the store and looked at the difference between the calories, it was a 5-calorie difference between the regular and the sugar-free, but all the additives are in the sugar-free because it still tastes good, right? So I had switched back to the regular one. Now, super interesting. I was eating the sugar-free one, and what I was doing a lot of the times was I just kept it in the freezer, and I would take it out of the freezer and take a couple of tablespoons out, because I think it's 2 tablespoons as a serving, and it was like frozen, so it was kind of like I was eating ice cream. The Cool Whip, like the regular one, doesn't stay completely frozen. So when I take it out, I can actually scoop it. It was very hot. I had to like get a knife and cut the sugar-free one, but the regular one, I can scoop it out. I could like eat it out of the container. So I was kind of like, ooh, like what are all those additives that was making it frozen? I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm really far off on this one, but just be mindful of all of the additives, or some of the additives that can be in some of these things that are, supposedly healthy for us, because sometimes that is a deterrent for weight loss as well. We think we're, doing all the things because this has no sugar, this has no this has no that. And really it has other stuff that is obstructing the weight loss. So just be mindful of that. Number 10, I promise this is not a paid subscription. There is nothing, no ad here, but number 10 is fiber. And you guys know, I swear by these things. I don't have to, so there's a lot of fiber supplements that like you put powder into a cup and you mix it. Now I gotta drink more water. I can't. These are great. I keep them on my desk. I'm in here often. So I will eat them. The recommended dosage is 3 times a day, like every meal or whatever. I do in the morning and at night. So you need the extra fiber, and we need to be able to stay regular. If we're all bound up, things get backed up, then we're really going to have some problems. So fiber is extremely important in weight loss. And with this medication, it slows down that part. So, we have to find a balance. These work great for me. I'm sure that many of you have things that are working great for you. So find something If you want to do it naturally, lentils, black beans, avocado, all high in fiber. There's a lot of high fiber cereal, fiber one, just watch out for sugar. So fiber, huge. And then the last thing, we all know what it is, right? Water. So make sure that we're drinking our water. So those are my tips. That is the advice that I would give. If you have any tips, please leave them in the comments below. And if you have any other advice or anything, then put that down in the comments below as well. If you liked this video, think it could be helpful to anybody else, please go ahead and share it. I will link the group for the little blue book down below, and we will see you guys real soon. Bye.